Hi everybody, it's Maureen again. We're going to do a more intermediate level mat class today. Definitely much more challenging than the work we did in the last video I sent you. So if you need to modify, please do so. If you do not feel that you are an intermediate level Pilates practitioner, then you should stick to the more basic Pilates routine that I outlined in my last two videos. Otherwise, you need to be really careful in this exercise to stop, rest, watch the video before you go and practice the exercise so you see a demonstration of the exercise correctly before you attempt it, and at the same time modify anything that needs to be modified around any injury or limitation that you might have. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this. Please don't worry if it feels really challenging the first few times you do it. Practice makes perfect. All right, so let's get started. We're going to begin lying down again, supine position. You guys are all familiar with this. We're actually going to start with a little back ease, letting the knees roll around in little circles, because we're going to begin with a more challenging warm-up exercise called the hamstring pull one. And so we want to make sure our low back is ready for that, and that we're going to work from our core more than from our hamstrings. So once you've done a few little twists and turns here to loosen up your low back and feel like you're not holding any tension here, what we're going to do is we're going to bring our nose up to our knees, trying to drop those shoulders away from the ears and keep that chin down. Now if you feel a lot of strain in your neck when you do this, and we've only just started, then you probably don't want to be doing this exercise at all. So we're going to take the right leg, extend it up to the ceiling, and as it goes up there, you'll feel that hamstring connection down the back of the leg, all the way through the calf up to the heel. And you want to just take the leg and give it a little pull towards your nose. Good. Now if you need to hold a little bit lower down, that's fine. Just don't hold the back of your knee, because that will make your whole leg collapse in on you. And we want to try and create some extension. Now we're going to start with a warm-up version of this. So as you hold your head down, chin to chest, hold your shoulders down out of your ears, you take the other leg and just reach it forward so that you can see that foot out there in the distance, stretching away from you. Now there's two little breaths. And then I switch my legs in the air and grab the other leg. Switch and grab. Now, as you're switching the legs, you're not moving your torso at all. No shoulder movement. No head bobbing from side to side. No forward and back with your upper back. You're trying to simply switch legs in the air. Shh, 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 shh. And the hands stay up and the leg comes in to your hands. Shh, shh. And you should be able to watch that leg that's going forward and down. 3, 3, 3, 3. Tummy tight, tummy tighter. Last 1. Boom, 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 boom. And then bring the legs up and fold them in. So as you tuck them into tabletop, you pull yourself forward again. And then when you roll back, oh, it feels nice to press the shoulders back, to open up the elbows, and give your neck a little twist from side to side. Now, we're going to take our hands and place them underneath our bottom, giving that booty a little tuck. So now you can take both legs to the ceiling. And we don't want to take them up part of the way, we want to take them up as far as they will go. And as they go up, the tummy pulls down, because we're going to do our corkscrew exercise. Now we want to start very small on the first one. Remember, we're still warming up our body. So you just want to take the legs around in a small circle and bring your legs back up. And then change directions. And up. And you want to exhale and inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Make sure as you lift those legs up, you squeeze them together. Exhale, inhale. Trying not to let the legs come apart. And try try not to let the knees bend. Now you might need to bend them a little bit, but you don't want to feel as if you're deliberately bending them. Exhale, inhale. Let's do one more. And shh. Now once we've finished with that, take the hands back out and pull the legs in. So you get a chance to release all the tension out of the low back. And then I like to repeat that little knee swirl I did before I even started, just to feel like I'm not holding any tension in my low back. All right, so we're going to repeat that entire sequence a second time through. So begin by pulling the legs up and on top of your pelvis and lifting your nose up and on top of your chest. So you're looking into your thighs, dropping the shoulders, feeling the chin drop. No strain in the neck. Now we're going to take that right leg up. Again, you want to see if you can feel it getting longer as it goes up, and then hold on to it. Hold it a little bit higher if you can, and then take the other leg up. Now the leg you're taking out this time, see if you can bring it a little bit lower. Just a little bit, not all the way to the floor yet, but really feel that extension. And the more that leg pulls forward, the more it helps lift you up. Good. So we do those 2 breaths again. Switch legs. Switch legs. Switch legs. Try and look right down the middle. Shh, 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 shh. Try and keep the hands up high and make your leg lift up into your hands. Pull the hamstring down. The back of the leg right here pulls down towards the floor. Pull it down. Pull it down. 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2. Nice high chest. 2. Head stays in place. 1, 1, 1, 1. And then bring the legs up and fold them in, recovering that nice high body before you roll backwards into the floor. Now once you're down there, pull the tension out of the neck. Let that neck have a little twirly whirly. And now the hands again go underneath your buttocks, just to give your pelvis a little tilt, which allows you to drop that back nice and heavy into the floor. So we're going to take our legs up for the corkscrew. Now, if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, there's a couple of things we can do. The first thing we can do is we can do it with a flexed foot, which takes the hamstrings and hip flexors a little bit more deep. The other thing you can do is make the circle larger. So when the legs go over to the side, they tip a little further. When the legs go out in front of you, they go a little whoop away, around and up. And you want to exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, stop at the top, exhale, inhale. Keep pulling that tummy in, keep squeezing your back into the floor. Exhale, inhale, bring the legs up. 2 more, around and up. Exhale, inhale, last one, around, up, around and up, and then pull those knees down again. Feeling your hip flexors in the front. Say ha when you do that. And again, we just take a little chance here to get a little recovery rolling on the back. Okay, how's everybody feeling? Are we ready to do one more set? Now this one more set is our biggest set. So remember, as you progress and progress and progress, you can attempt the more challenging versions of the exercise. If you don't feel like you're ready, then you just stick to the basic one that we did first, and you keep doing that level until you feel like you're ready to go up a little bit more challenge. So arms pull, head curl. Make sure you feel as if your neck and shoulders are completely relaxed and your back is pushed into the mat. Now when you take the right leg up again this time, you want to see if you can slide your hands even higher. So by now your hamstrings might have warmed up a little bit, so you might be able to reach that little bit higher up towards your foot. Now the other leg, this is where we did the first time. This is where we did the second time. On this third one, you now have the option to pull the hamstring completely down into the floor. So you actually touch the ground here. Switch and swing. So the range of motion is bigger with the legs, still trying to maintain the stability of your torso. Shh, shh, make sure you're reaching up. Make sure you're reaching up. And 3, and 3, and 2. Pull that heel down. And 1, look how long your legs are. Long, and then they come up. And you roll backwards. Oh, definitely more challenge there. Hands go underneath the booty. Give that little pelvic tilt and take the legs up. So third and final set of corkscrew. Again, it's up to you. Do you want to make the movement bigger? Do you want to have the feet flexed? You might even want to, and this is not required, but it's an option, you might even want to rotate the legs out to make a little V as you swirl. So this works. There. Now, if the circle gets too big and unmanageable, it will start to pull on your spine and make you feel like your low back is arching. So you don't want to make that happen. So if you need to keep the circles really small and up high, that's fine. That's where you stay. But if you're ready, then you exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. And around. And around. Last 2. Last 1. And then you can pull those knees all the way in to your chest. All right, so we're going to take our feet now and place them on the ground in front of us. And that will allow your pelvis, which was slightly tucked, to roll into neutral, which may tug your head and shoulders down a little bit. We need to fix your clothes here. And we want to feel as if we're in our neutral spine with nice even hips. So the last video I did, we talked a lot about bridging, about that feeling of dropping the belly down and curling up. We're going to stick to that again, but I want to add a little bit of arms to this. So arms down long at your side, you take them out along the floor, opening them out. Now I've got a little curtain, a little carpet in the way here, so I can't do it evenly. And then you turn the hands, rotate the shoulders, so the hands flip, and then reach out behind you. And you want to feel as if the length in your arms is not being modified by an arch in your back. So you want to keep that back nice and neutral right through here. And it means you might need to bring your arms up a little bit. That's okay. And now we reverse it all the way back, turning the hands into the floor. So by the time they come back to your bottom, you've got a nice long arm, nice long neck. Now we start with that belly. Dig it into your spine. Feel it press down through your body, and it causes the abdominals to move your pelvis into a new position, into your tilt, and up you go. Rolling through. Now remember, you decide how high you want to lift. If you only want to lift a little, that's fine. If you want to lift a lot, that's fine, but you don't want to feel the ribs pop open. Still want to keep them nice and squeezed. And then we come down, using the spine like a slinky, and pushing out and down, and then think right into the floor to finish. And again, arms open. Roll them around so your shoulder doesn't get pulled into your ears. Reach back. Feel that stretch, and your knees are going this way and your fingers are going this way, and the tummy in the middle is nice and heavy. And then open the chest. Flip the hands back, palms down. And once you've got those arms anchored on the floor, you use them and the core to curl and exhale. Pushing the hips up, feeling the shoulders stay down, feeling your bottom lift you clear of the floor. And we roll down. Feel the spine really squeeze and push all the little butt cheek muscles down into the floor. And here you are, ready? One more time. Arms around. Roll them before you lift them past your ears. Make sure your shoulders don't chest up, won't get into your neck. All right, open again. And down. And this time when we roll up, we're going to stay up. We're going to curl. And we're going to exhale that bottom up into your bridge and keep the arms nice and heavy. So you want to take these shoulders up here and try and push them backwards into the floor to really feel as if your muscles in your back are engaged, and it rolls right up into your 2 hip bones and then right forward into your 2 knee bones. Arms are heavy. So we're just going to lift our right foot to the toes and put it back down. So you're lifting your heel and then the arch and then the toes. Tap and roll. And I'm trying to keep my hips still as I do this. Going up, rolling down. Imagine you've got gum on your shoe and you're trying to pull that gum off and then squeeze it back in. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more time with each foot. Using the arches, using the toes, using the ankles, and roll it down, 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 and out at the end. Really important that you finish it in neutral. All right, let's do it again. Arms and arms, keeping the chest relaxed and the neck open. Curl. Lots of tummy here, lots of scooping, and whoosh, it floats up and away. Now this time when you come onto the toe, just pop the foot off the floor. Push it back in. Roll to the toes and pop the foot off the floor and bring it back in. So you're using the floor to give you a little pop and trying to keep the hips still. Right here. Up. Now when I lift my left foot, I push into my left arm. When I lift my right foot, I push into my right arm. So it gives me a little bit of counterbalance. Pop. And squidgy. Last one. Last one. Inhale, see if you can hold. And breathe your spine down into the floor. How was that? Okay, we're going to do one more set. And this time, instead of doing single and alternating the legs, we're going to stick with one leg 4 times and then stick with the other leg 4 times. So it makes you have to hold that stability a little bit longer. All right, so arms down. Open that chest up. Rotate those arms so your arms can reach behind you. Remember, this feels like you're getting heavier in the ribs here. And then open a beautiful breath. And keep the arms away from the ears as the arms reach down. We inhale. Feel those abdominal muscles contract and drop. Feel them push your spine heavy, and the spine going down at one side lifts the tailbone up. Here we are, nice and high, nice and long, nice and straight. So we pull that right leg up, and we go 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we push the toes in, and the other foot rolls up, and 4, 3. Keep those hips nice and even if you can. 2, 1, and then down. Take a big inhale, feel as if you pull away from your chest, and you can squeeze the chest down and out. Oh, feels really good. All right, so we're all the way down there. We're going to take our legs out into the floor. Feel the stretch. Nice and heavy, give those hips a little shake out, make sure you're not holding any tension in your low back. And then we're going to do one beautiful roll up to sit up on our bottoms. So the arms have come around just like we did all those times before, and again you want to feel those abdominals here. Now the same feeling as you did at the start of your bridge lifts the head. And then you roll through and sit up straight and pull yourself forward right up over your those legs a little bit out. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make life a little bit more challenging. We're going to do a little hip circle prep. So I'm taking my hands behind me and onto the floor, and you get to rotate the fingers back and just kind of come up onto your fingertips like a little tent. And you want to lean back a little bit without bending the arms. So this exercise, we're trying not to bend the elbows, trying not to dip down into our ears and lose our spine, but we want to feel really lifted up out of the back of our sits bones. The toes touch the floor very lightly, and you just twist. One side, up, and the other side. Try not to move the body as you move the knees. So it's just this little swivel, one butt cheek lifts up off the floor. Back to the middle, staying lifted and tall, and up. Now I want you to notice my neckline here. It's long, it's not sticking out, and it's not arched backwards. It's part of the rest of my spine. My neck is a continuation from my tailbone up. Twist very small, and center. Twist very small, and center. And then we're going to let both knees fall open and have a little momentary pause in the movement. So this allows your shoulder blades to open up and curve you, because up till now they've been holding you upright. And it also takes any load out of your elbows and wrists. I like to give my hands a little twirl here. All right, so let's do it again. Now this time take the hands back a little tiny bit further so that you can actually lift your feet up in front of you. All right, so the knees are squeezed together. And now that little twist still onto the one butt cheek and back, and onto the other butt cheek and back. Trying not to move your shoulders. Trying not to move your spine. Just roll the pelvis up and over, up and over. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last one. Oh, my knees don't want to stay together. Yes, here we go. And when it comes in and you open, just bring those arms around and forward, letting your head and neck and shoulders and back release. And again, if you want to give those wrists a little twirl. Okay, so now this is called hip circle prep. So we got to make a little circle to make it feel like it's a hip circle. So we take the arms back again, lift up that chest again. Now you can modify this down onto your elbows, but you have to really watch that your chest doesn't sink there. You've got to stay popped up, all right? So here we are up in that nice lifted, really feel where your tailbone's on the floor and your spine goes up and back from there on an incline. And then you just lift those legs. Now when we take our legs to that first side, instead of coming back to the middle, we finish the circle. And then we take the legs to the other side. And then we finish the circle. So it goes inhale, exhale. And you're not circling your feet around without moving your knees. You're circling your knees and your hips. It's called hip circle after all. Around. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Exhale. And then bring those feet down and around. So that's taking our corkscrew exercise that we did at the start of class and bringing it into a more vertical sitting position, which makes it a lot harder and a lot more challenging on that core. There we are. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's roll it up. And now we're going to come on to our knees. Now, if you have any knee restrictions, you might want to take your mat and shorten it a little bit on either side, so you get a little bit more cushion underneath you. It's totally up to you. Now we will be starting with both legs kneeling, and then we're actually going to end up taking one leg out and then the other leg out, so there'll be more pressure on one knee at a time, right? So this exercise is something you have to think about carefully. If you need an extra cushion under your knee, make sure you add it. Now we're taking those hips and trying to push them forward. Let me turn this way so you can see. So
So I don't want there to be a tip back here with the back coming forward and a fold here at the pelvis. I want you to feel as if you're trying to push your bottom and curl it under, and then be right up. And the feet that are on the floor kind of push down into the ground there to help you be straight here. And then look at that beautiful posture. It goes right up and out. So we're trying to avoid tipping in this exercise, which might be really challenging for you. And otherwise stay upright. So let me turn this way. Let's start with a beautiful side stretch, trying to find these lateral muscles that start underneath your armpit and go right down the whole side of your body. So we're going to inhale, bring it out. Now I'm going to drop one arm in front of me, lift the other arm up. And then as this arm pushes into my ear, I let my body just slightly, remember it's our first one, it's always the small one, cascade over to the side. So you're lifting this side of your body up and out, and you're pulling this side of your body in and over. Don't feel as if you're crunching, feel as if you're long. And then up. There we are, little windmill of the arms. And then we do side two lifting. And then very small. First one's always small. Feel the openness here. Feel the squeeze here. You haven't tipped forward. And out. Alright, so a little thing to think about here. As you bring your arms to this kind of 6 o'clock position, you want to feel as if you try and make it get longer first before it falls over. And on the second one, it can maybe go a little bit more. And up. And open. So find your 6 o'clock arms and try and lengthen first. Decompress that spine so it doesn't feel like you're sitting in your pelvis, but you pulled up and then over. Now this arm is crossing your body as this one falls, and you don't want to turn that head, you just want to let your head go with your spine. And up. Alright, so now we're going to take this first leg out to the side. And once you get that leg out to the side, just feel as if you can manage to stay in the hips, right? A little bend here in the hips and pushed away into the leg that you're kneeling on. So your hip's not tipped over, but it's right above you. And that will also stop you from doing that bending forward at the waist. Good. Now the foot is on the floor, try not to turn it to point sideways. Try and keep it pointing in the same direction. And then we take the arms up. Now this time when the arm comes down onto the thigh, it stops instead of crossing over. And then when you stretch, it feels as if you reach down your leg towards your ankle. And then we inhale it up. Now to go the other way, keep the arms in a T and just fall away from your ankle. And your hand will come over, but it won't actually touch the floor. And then you lift your side up to the middle. Arms. Remember to roll upward and then side stretch into the short side of the body. And up. Windmill those arms out. And now move the whole spine away. And into beautiful tilt. Try not to let the shoulders come up. And don't let the head go out of line with your spine. And then you pull yourself up. And we're going to do that one more time. Remember to reach up and then tip. Now on this one, when we bring ourselves all the way over, we're actually going to keep going until you put your fingers on the floor and your hand on the floor. Now look where this arm is, straight up to the ceiling. Now with this hand on the ground, I lean into my arm a little. You feel that toe drag. And then once you've got that, if you've got that, you should be able to lift this leg up and down. Now hopefully you don't feel tipped forward. Hopefully there's no booty sticking out in the back, but you want to feel like you're lifting up, pushing down, and stretching that spine. And that leg lifting and lowering is almost effortless because your upper body is so strong and so stable. Last one, leave it up there and flex the foot. Now we're going to do little short lifts. Pulling the tummy in, pulling the tummy in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bring the foot down and then slide it away on the ground so that it allows you to lift and find your vertical. Now we come to our vertical here and we lift both arms up so that you can now take that knee and tuck it right under you and open. All right, so let's have a little rest before we do side 2, because by now your shoulders might be tired. I like to just fold forward, fingertips down on the ground, and have a little, and then we roll it up, and we're going to do side 2. So let me move a little bit this way so I don't run out of space. And we start with the arms. So remember, pushing the bottom forward, getting nice and flat here, dropping the shoulders, and we just do the arms first. Just that little windmill, growing up before you tip. Feeling this side of your body opening and this side of your body pulling in. And then you windmill it up and reach up before you exhale. Thinking of pulling that belly in tight as you tip over. So there's no movement in the hips. And up. All right, so we're going to take the opposite leg out. Again, feel as if you can drop into it. Feel the stretch there without tipping your chest forward, but staying upright. And then when you push off that leg, you put all the weight right above that thigh. So everything's nice and straight here. All right, turn the toe. Now the leg that's on the floor, make it come slightly forward so you don't arch. And then we put the hand on the leg, go up and over. Now I'm much tighter on this side, so I don't tip as far. And then when I windmill my arms out and over, try not to let the head come out of alignment. And you just want to stop and then lift it up and up and over and up and out and tilt, long neck, shoulders down, bringing the hand and then up. Last one. Up before you go over. And up. And this time, as you bring it over, you take the fingertips to the floor and then put your hand down flat. And then you slide your weight into the middle. So it's shared between your shoulder and your hip now. It's not on your hip anymore. It's right here. Okay? Neck is out long. Try not to let your head collapse. And this arm just pulls up into the ceiling. Now if you've got that beautiful lift, this leg should be able to release. Knees facing the front. The leg moves laterally. It's an abduction through that hip. Tummy's tight. Now as your leg comes out, try and make the arm grow longer. Up. So there's no tipping at your waist. 3. Oh, feels good. 2. And on that last one, push down into the hand, flex the foot, and little, short breaths. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the toe down. Now once the toe comes to the floor, you pull it along the floor so it moves your hips. And here we are, up. And then we take the arms up. And you want to feel as if you're being pulled into the ceiling so you can bring that knee under you without collapsing. All right, so your bottom's still forward, your hips are still flat. And now, fold into the floor. just going to do one more thing. I'm going to turn, and if you need to take your mat and lengthen it, you can. Back out. And then just find your child's pose that we did a second ago, but this time leave your hands in front of you. There we go. So this is your chance to release the neck. Your shoulders get tired in that last exercise. To let your booty go out, remember to modify onto your elbows and keep your bottom higher if you have any knee or hip restrictions. And we're just going to slide our hands out and bring our heads to look at our fingers. The weight shifts into the hands and the toes tuck under. And then as you push your hips up and back, your body lifts into your upstretched position. Now try not to push through into the ribcage like you would do in yoga. Instead, try and lift your abdominals up and pull your ribcage in so your head actually curls to look at your heels that can go down into the floor and up. And feel any gripping in the neck, just let it go. And up. Now on this last one, as you push down with the heels, put a little bend in the knees so your hands can now walk in to your feet. And your heels press into the floor. And you've got a beautiful parallel position with the butt sticking out behind you. And this is a good alternative position for people who can't do child's pose. So just do this little forward curl. And then we're going to pull the tummy in and roll it up. So it brings you tall and beautiful. And finish with the breath. All right, so a little bit more challenging today. Take your time, be patient with your body, be careful with your body, honor your body as it practices, and I will throw some more at you in a few days so that you can keep yourself moving. And I hope everybody is staying well and not getting a little too cranky and crazy from being locked up at home. Okay, love you all, take care.